Ladies and gentlemen, Texas hockey fans, we are back with the full Texas Hockey Podcast. We're back. Stars are back. It is Wednesday, February 25th. The Stars are back in AAC. I will be in the building tonight. This podcast has now flipped from USA. We're still going to rep the USA the whole time, obviously. We're gold medal winners. We've got 4 years to gloat about it, but it's a Texas Hockey Podcast. We're back to talk about the Dallas Stars on Clean Sheet of Ice, a Texas Hockey Podcast. I'm your host, Stone Strinkman. Joined always by Dom Garcia. How we doing, bud?
Stone, it's February. Hockey season never stops around this time, and this schedule comes right into it. We're right in the barn burner. The trade deadline's coming. Teams are really close, bunched up points-wise. I think we're a game behind, or a point or two behind Minnesota, so it's all steam rolling forward for the Dallas Stars.
Yeah, trade deadline is like next week. It feels like a week and a half from now. It's getting chaotic. The Stars do have a lot of updates that we got to get into it, obviously, with all the injuries that happened during the Olympics. We knew they were going to happen. We were hopeful that they weren't going to happen to the Stars, but we weren't that lucky.
Yeah.
Before we get into all that action, though, I would like for you to hit the subscribe button. I think we're 16 away from 250 subscribers on YouTube, because you know what happens at 250 subscribers? We're giving this bad boy away. Mikko Rantanen, bobblehead. We're going to give this away before Mikko Rantanen comes back to the Stars on the ice.
Book it.
So I would like to give it away this week. I'd love to give it away on Friday's episode. I'd love to give it away on Monday's episode. Like anytime in the next week, I'd love to give it away. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already on our YouTube at Clean Sheet of Ice. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button on our audio platforms like Apple, Spotify, where we have video as well. We've grown this podcast a lot. We were crunching all the numbers. We are kind of making some deals and all that kind of stuff. We looked at the numbers. Clean Sheet of Ice is probably like the third highest subscribed to on audio platform at Apollo Media. So thank you to everyone that subscribed to us on audio platforms. We really appreciate it.
No, we've put in a lot of work. We have a full team now, and that's so wild to say, year 2 of this journey, and it's just been so fun.
It's been a blast. Shout out to Luke. Shout out to Savannah for hopping on the podcast once a week and the streams and everything. Luke, he's the one that's running the Twitter and the Instagram and all that kind of stuff. So we've got a full team for Clean Sheet of Ice, and we really appreciate everyone that's tuned in, everyone that's hit the subscribe button, but we'd love to give away that Mikko Rantanen bobblehead at 250 subscribers. So hit that subscribe button on Clean Sheet of Ice on YouTube. And now we get to talk about the bad stuff. I didn't go to practice the last 2 days at AAC. I am going to try to go to morning skate here at 10:30 on Wednesday morning. So as you're listening to this, I'll be at morning skate. So any other new updates that happen, sorry, we don't have them. Radek Faksa got put on IR. Mikko Rantanen got put on IR, both retroactive. Radek Faksa could technically come off of IR for tonight's game. I doubt that he's not going to come back till Saturday, but Mikko's out for what was reported is going to miss some time, minimum of 2 weeks before he gets checked back up on. That stinks a lot, because it didn't really look like a whole lot at the Olympics when he did get hurt in that third period against, was it Canada, when he got banged up there on the wall. So that's going to be coming back home 3 weeks, and I'm not excited about that.
Yeah, and he was having a great Olympics too. Like it's really unfortunate. Those Finns, man, they battled. If you watch that game, if you're lucky enough to see it, God, it was a battle. And these are the things that happen when an Olympic committee has multiple years to put a great sheet of ice out. And that's what we see. That was kind of swept under the rug just because with all of the madness that happened in the final and the medal games. Lower body injury to an ice service that was horrendous. And you hate to put connections to things, but man, it's tough. These things happen, but also there were some precautions that could have prevented maybe something like this, and maybe not. It's just, man, it's tough to know what was out there and then have this result. It's terrible for not just Stars fans, but hockey fans.
Yeah, and it was a weird play. Mikko was on the boards. He kind of fell down, he was fallen on top of by another Canadian player. It was a weird hockey injury, and it happens. Like, luckily, it seems like it's not season ending, which is huge. Obviously, like, he's going to miss some time, 2+ weeks here. He's going to put you to the middle of March. It's going to put you past the trade deadline. And that's just the checkup. So I would assume, like, we might not see him till April. It's like, it would be a whole month without Mikko. He's at 69 points. He leads the team in points. He's an assist king. He's awesome on the power play. He's awesome 5-on-5. He does so many things for you and made this team significantly better. After the trade last season, we were like, oh, we needed somebody big. We needed somebody that can go take over a game. And he did all those things. So hopefully he's able to come back before April starts. That way he can get back into the rhythm before the playoffs start, because we're going to be in the playoffs, whether we're hosting in the home team, home ice advantage there in the first round. Who's to say against the Wild? Because the Wild, we just watched Quinn Hughes turn into what I would say is the best defenseman in the world at the Olympics, because Cale Makar had awful play after awful play and scored one goal there in that gold medal match, but it wasn't really impressive the entire Olympics, whereas Quinn Hughes was probably the best player for the U.S. the whole time. So we got to go against him, and not having Mikko Rantanen here for the next probable month is not very fun.
No, and luckily all year, Gully has kind of flip-flop lines. He's tested things. So for situations like this, I feel like some of these third and fourth liners are prepared, but you never want to lose a guy that kind of runs the ship the way he does, especially on the power play. He's so good. The reporting is kind of interesting because Dallas, if you know anything about their management, they don't let anything get out. So this is kind of, it happened in a non-Dallas game. So you just kind of have to hope for it doesn't linger as far too bad. And you got to be precautious as all you can, because man, you need this guy in the big moments. And the big moments are not in, January and February.
Yeah. And Mikko was retroactively put on IR on February 20th. So 5 days ago, he could come off of IR in 2 days, which means he would technically be able to play on Saturday. We've already been told that's not happening. He's going to miss a minimum of 2 games. Then they got him to look at it. It's going to be a minimum of 2 weeks. So we'll see what that looks like 2 weeks from the 20th, I would assume, when that injury actually happened in the semifinal game. So there's that. Radek Faksa also put on IR yesterday after practice, which everyone like Sam Nessler, Robert Tiffin, Leah, they were all surprised about because he was out there practicing. And then they put him on IR retroactive to February 17th. So that technically means if they wanted to, if he was able to, he could come out today and play on the home opener here for AAC after the Olympic break. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think he's a maybe for Saturday, but I don't think it's anything too long for Radek Faksa, who's the king of your fourth line, king of your PK. Going to need him back whenever you can get him back.
Yeah, and Jim Nill was out there in Milan, and I think everybody's kind of taking this ease back into it. Really feels like the start of like the season opener again, and that's kind of how you're treating it. And you don't win championships at this time of the year, so you have to be overprotective. And we know these guys absolutely put everything into representing their countries. So they're going to need a little bit of extra recovery on those legs and on their entire bodies.
Yeah, and you mentioned the recovery because Roope Hintz, he missed practice yesterday, but he's sick. It's with an illness, not an injury. So TBD on whether Roope Hintz plays tonight, Wednesday night, or if he gets another game off and goes on Saturday. We had no Jake Ottinger, no Thomas Harley, no Roope Hintz, and no Mikko Rantanen at practice yesterday, but we had Esa Lindell and Miro Heiskanen play practice yesterday. So they were on the ice. Seems like they're good to go. It seems like they did not get banged up too much at the Olympics. Obviously, they probably came home with some dings and bruises and all that kind of stuff because it's a physical game over there and it's championship type of hockey over there. So they're probably coming home a little bit more tired, a little bit more banged up, but they're good to go. It seems like that they're going to play tonight. So that's huge because that's your top pairing. Thomas Harley, I believe, is going to be playing tonight as well. Don't think he came back with anything. We'll see what happens at Morning Skate today. And you can look at our Clean Sheet Advice Twitter or my Twitter today at Morning Skate, 10:30. We'll update you there on Thomas Harley and Esa Lindell, Miro Heiskanen.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing you kind of do. I mean, it feels like just yesterday the gold medal game ended, and I know those flights are long. Like, we're going right back into NHL action. And shout out to Miro Heiskanen because he must have been top 5 in ice time for the entire Olympics and goes right back out to morning skate like it's just another week in the office. Like, that's insane. Like, I know Esa Lindell is the conditioning king, but Miro, man, he's right there with it.
Yeah, and everyone was talking about Quentin Hughes' minutes for Team USA. We're like, wow, 25, 26 minutes. He's on the ice all the time. And Miro Haskin was like 25, 26. That sounds like a walk in the park, boys. Like played 27 game one against Slovakia in a blowout. Like, yeah, Miro played a shitload of minutes. Obviously, Essa was playing that 23 to 25 minute mark as well, sometimes a little bit higher. So yeah, they're coming home probably a little dinged up, but they're used to it. They're used to that minute load. They're used to having to play high pressure minutes as the top defensive pair for Team Finland and the Stars. So I think they're going to be fine. Next update: Liam Bichsel, potential comeback tonight. He's been on the ice during the break when they came back to practice. He was on the ice, fully participated, and all that kind of stuff. Now that Mikko Rantanen is on IR and Radek Faksa and 17 other people, it seems like Liam Bichsel might be able to just be called up off of IR and not have to send anybody on waivers or anything like that, send anyone down to the AHL, which I don't think anyone has any AHL options anymore. So we would have had to put somebody on waivers. Not have been fun. But Liam Bichsel looks like he's going to be able to come back here with no waivers or no other IR moves.
And that is fantastic news to hear. Stone will be getting more information on it because that's what he does. And God, I didn't even think about Liam. I haven't thought about Liam Bichsel at least in like a week or two. And the idea of him coming back is going to be so fun, man.
The physicality will immediately come back, right? Like that's what it feels like. Jamie Benn, well, he's kind of been the leader in the physicality department. Colin Blackwell, you get those kinds of guys out there that they're going to go throw hits. And Jason Robertson's been kind of one of the guys that's been throwing hits that I saw before the Olympic break while Liam Bichsel was out. Once Liam comes back, everyone is going to start throwing hits. Essa Lindell's going to start throwing hits. Miro Haskin to make sure he finishes hits. It's a lot of fun when Liam's in the lineup because everyone just ups their level of physicality. That's something that we've been missing since December. It's been almost 2.5, 3 months now since we've seen Liam Bichsel on the ice. So it'll be good to have him back in the lineup, bringing the physicality, bringing the chirps, just hitting people into oblivion against the glass. Like that's fun. That's fun hockey right there. And Liam Bichsel brings that fun.
Yeah. And, that's going to be exciting for fans. There's going to be a lot of new hockey fans coming to games in the near future. So fellow Stars fans, we need that juice because I remember my first hockey game and I was hooked. So we need those gigantic national anthem Stars chants. We need the juice, especially with some of these guys who have had all this time off. We need to start rolling and get those points back in the win column.
Yep. Next thing on roster, Tyler Seguin's decision should come this week. I believe he's getting an update on doctors and seeing if like, hey, you're not going to be ready until August and you just put him on SEL-TIR. Which means the Stars would be able to use the full $9.85 million cap hit that Tyler Seguin has for his contract salary. You'd actually be able to use that full get up here at the trade deadline, trade for some big pieces, bring some win now pieces, go for it pieces, all that kind of stuff at the deadline. If they decide that, hey, he's a maybe for May, like we could probably play him in May, you're only going to be able to use that $3 million and change that you put him on LTI or just normal LTIR. You don't get to use the full thing. I think it's 3.4 million or something like that. You'd still be able to use that in the regular season. However, come playoff time, you would have to be cap compliant. If Tyler Seguin were to come back, that new piece that you just added may not be able to play, or you'd have to not play like Maverick Bork and two other people or Ilya Lyubushkin or something like that. It would change the dynamic of it as opposed to putting him on an SEL-TIR, which would be able to let you use the full $9.85 million, which would make you cap compliant come playoff time.
Yeah, and Tyler's kind of cap situation for this team has kind of had Stars fans debating. Stone knows this way better than me. I think you want to be as close to the cap as possible to kind of squeeze as much juice as you can. And I think, I would have loved to have a trade before the Olympic period, but now the Olympic period being over, I think it was the smartest move in the world to wait. Because now you do have enough time. It does feel like, February is a weird month because it ends really quick, but it feels like we have enough time to make the calls we need and the decisions we make. And I would expect this decision, you said this week?
That's what we've been told. The end of February is when Tyler Seguin is supposed to get an update from his doctor to see how the recovery has gone.
Okay. Yeah. I trust Jim Nill with my life, as do you. And I know there is a plan for both directions to go, two streets to take.
Yeah, and this is why Jim Nill waited, right? Post-Olympic break, because like, hey, if I don't have Mikko Rantanen till April, might need some more firepower, might need a little bit more juice, right? Or you come back and like Miro Heiskanen gets hurt, and you're like, fuck, I need another D-man. Like I got to go do another Granny CC trade or something like that. Like Jim Nill didn't know what he needed until post-Olympic break because he knew what he wanted. He knew what he'd like to go get with Tyler Seguin's extra money there on SELTIR if that happens. But he didn't know what he actually needed. So now if Mikko Rantanen's going to miss a full month, that is something that you're going to need some more scoring. You're going to need some more setup guys because Mikko Rantanen's leading the team in assists. He's leading the team in points. Like that's a very big hole that you're going to be missing here for 3-4 weeks. You're going to need to go fill some spots there with a little bit of scoring. And you don't know really who's available yet because we didn't know Mikko Rantanen was available last year. Like until the day before the trade deadline, all of a sudden Elliot Friedman at 11 p.m. to midnight, something like that. I was in Little Rock, Arkansas. I was halfway to Alabama. I was driving back for something that weekend, and we stopped in Little Rock, got in the hotel, start scrolling on Twitter. All of a sudden, Elliot Friedman, Mikko Rantanen, and the Dallas Stars are working on a trade/contract extension right now. I was like, oh my God, we didn't know this was a thing. We have no idea who's available. We have no idea what's going to be out there. Jim Nill has a better idea than we do. So trust him with your life, and it'll be okay. You'll figure it out. We'll get some more updates this week. We'll get some more updates next week. Obviously, with the deadline at the end of the week next week, we'll know what our roster looks like heading towards playoff time.
Yeah, and I think it was Greg Wyshynski of ESPN said it last year when Mikko got traded. He was like, man, Dallas is such an interesting spot because not only do they have a fantastic GM, but teams call them about players that want to go to Dallas. And sometimes it's a week, a month before the deadline, but like very few teams have that luxury of you check all the boxes. You have a great city, you have a great organization, and then you have a place that players want to go to. And Jim Nill uses that to his advantage, and I'm sure something will come available because I've already seen podcasts of other teams saying like that are sellers being like, I could see them moving to Dallas. I could see it happening, and I'm sure something will get done.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and find out. I have no idea what's out there. I have no idea what we're looking at. Obviously, there's speculation of what they want. Do they want a right-handed D-man? But now I'm like, you need a left winger or a right winger, something to come up, be a little more versatile in the scoring department, maybe be able to be on your PP1, PP2. Like, you're going to need something like that without Mikko Rantanen because now Jamie Benn and Matt Duchene have moved up, I believe, into the top unit on the power play unit at practice yesterday because no Roope Hintz at practice and no Mikko. So you might need some more scoring. I love Jamie Benn. I love Matt Duchene, but having them on PP2 makes me feel a lot better than having them on PP1.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So you never know what you're going to get. Last thing before we get to our preview, U.S. obviously won the Olympic gold medal. Awesome. They went to the White House yesterday, State of the Union, all that kind of stuff. Jake Ottinger did not go, decided to turn down the invite, according to Leah over at the Dallas Morning News. That was in her article. He turned it down. I believe he came home to Dallas yesterday. We should be able to see him today in the locker room at Morning Skate. He will not be playing, I don't believe, or even backing up. They called up Remy Poirier from the AHL, from the Texas Stars, so they could have an extra goaltender there. So I believe Casey DeSmith will be in net tonight. Jake Ottinger taking one more day to get back acclimated to the time zone and maybe recover a little bit from his time at 11 because did everyone see the videos at 11? That was incredible.
Yeah.
Miami's a great place. 11 is a great place. I saw someone tweet out that's from Miami. Obviously, I love Miami. I love going there. I've never been to 11. My parents have both been to 11. I think my sister's been to 11. It's very funny that my parents are just going to 11 and clubbing in Miami. Whatever, they're retired. It's fine. But no one's ever just like sang the Star Spangled Banner, like the entirety of the crowd, the dancers, the people there. They stopped everything and sang the Star Spangled Banner there with all the boys in the middle with American flags draped over them and USA t-shirts and hats and all that kind of stuff. It looked like an absolute blast. So I'm very happy for Jake Ottinger that he got to have just a full weekend there in Miami, a day and a half or whatever it was, just drinking and getting hammered at 11. It looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'm happy for him to be home. He did not touch the ice in Italy, but he had a great time.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk to him, see how the dorm life was. And obviously we heard that the Kachuk brothers' door was always open in the dorms. Like it was kind of like a college-like atmosphere. It reminded me of what my freshman year in college was like because all of the swimmers. We all showed up. All 10 of us were in a row. All 10 of us, we were in a row on one side of the dorm. All of us just 5 doors down. Like, so the doors were always open. People were always busting in, and you're just making jokes and all that kind of stuff and having fun, camaraderie, all that kind of stuff. Can't wait to hear about all of that. The food, I'm interested to hear about what the cafeteria was like. If it was good food, if it was bad food, I have no idea. Looked like Brady Kachuk was eating like buttered noodles at one point. I'm just like, what are we, 7? Like, that was crazy. Can't wait to just hear about his experience, because he's an Olympic gold medalist that'll never go away. Obviously, he didn't touch the ice, but he was on that team. He meant something to that team because they wouldn't have brought him there if he didn't. So excited for our guy, Jake, and I can't wait to hopefully get to see the gold medal. That would be cool. First time getting to see a gold medal in person. That'd be sick. They had the USA flag, the American flag hung up in his locker yesterday at AAC. The equipment staff put it up there, and they were all wearing USA gear sitting next to Jamie Benn and kind of just giving some shots there as the media walked in. So that was funny to see on Twitter. Can't wait to see everybody in the locker room today. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, no, it'll be fantastic, and it's not gonna hit me until it's 8:30 right now.
Yeah.
Once it gets to after lunchtime, it's like, okay, Dallas Stars hockey is back. Like we're right in the thick of it. We're in the toughest division in the sport, and any one of us 3 in the Central could just do damage, and we're gonna need everybody as healthy as possible to make this run.
Yeah. So obviously today's Wednesday. We're playing the Kraken. We're gonna keep talking about the Olympics because it's been 46 years, guys. We haven't won the Olympics very often, and winning it in this sport means a lot to us. Our guy was on that team, Jake, and we're just gonna keep living in it. So we're gonna keep bringing things up. I had another viral tweet go off. Jack Hughes throwing his helmet into oblivion. Like, that one went viral for whatever reason. Like, the Olympics means something to these American people, so we're gonna keep talking about it every once in a while. But we're trying to transition slowly back into Dallas Stars mode. I'm going to slowly get back into it, obviously going to morning skate today and kind of see what's going on there. Get back in the locker room, see some skates, hear the sound of hockey in my actual ears and not through my TV speakers is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I need to get back in the building as soon as possible too. Like,
yeah, I think you're going to be around a lot during the playoffs is what the little birdies told me.
That is the groundwork is being laid right now to make things like that happen, because I feel it. This playoff run, as fun as last year's was, I think we're going to see something just as crazy.
Yeah, and obviously we've been on a 3-year run here to the Western Conference Finals. Last year was the first year of Clean Sheet of Ice. So if you subscribed back then and you were tuning in back then when we were on the Apollo HOU channel, thank you for tuning in that year. But like, we had a blast last year covering the team and getting nitty gritty in it and kind of really paying into the details and all kind of stuff. Like, I was in the locker room last year and I had no idea what I was doing last year. Just showed up and got a season pass. Shout out to the Stars PR team for letting me in. But yeah, it's been a blast. Get more comfortable, but it's still a privilege every time to just go sit up in the press box and get to watch live hockey for my job, basically, and not have to pay for a ticket and all that. So getting to cover this team has been a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the season unfolds like.
The stories of Stone not being in the press box and then being back in the press box, and then for whatever reason, when he got into the press box, that's when the Stars would turn it on. Like, they were so much fun to hear.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a good time. So won't be there on Saturday, but today we have a game. Tomorrow they have the casino night over at Comerica Center in Frisco. So if you're going to that, enjoy that. Have fun with the players and betting some things and playing poker or whatever it is that they play. Never been to casino night. Not going again this year. But I get to see live action hockey tonight. We're 1 point back. We've got a game in hand against the Wild. 77 points. They've got 78. We're on a 6-game win streak there to end the right before the Olympic break. The Wild ended on a 5-game win streak. They're 8-1-1 in their last 10. We're 7-3 in our last 10. The Kraken are 6-4 in their last 10. They're on a 1-game win streak. They're at 63 points. They're in the Pacific 3-hole, the seed right there. So they would make the playoffs and not have to be a wild card team. This is a interesting game because we may go 11-7. If you don't have Roope Hintz, you're probably going 11-7. You're adding Liam Bichsel back in. You're probably easing him back into game action since it's been 3 months. We just don't know what this lineup looks like as we're recording right now. In like 3 hours, we will know exactly what's going to happen because we're going to talk to goalie. We're going to see what's going on, what the lineup's going to be. But I would assume Casey DeSmith in net. I would assume Liam Bichel's back. And I'm going to guess that Roope Hintz doesn't play. That's my best guess right now. I think they want those Olympic guys that are not necessarily fully healthy yet to just get that extra 3 days of rest because they don't play again until Saturday.
And I think that's the right call. We'll know the call very soon, like you just said. But no, this is the one that you walk into with eggshells, and then you have a couple of days of rest to get back into the groove with your next game being Saturday. So for Seattle, it's foot on the gas. So you are going to this is a matchup you kind of don't want to see right after an Olympic period like this, but we're going to see how our players that had the time off, we're going to see how they respond.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Like, they don't have anyone on their team that's like scoring a lot of points, right? Jordan Eberle is leading their team in points with 38. He's got 20 goals, 18 assists. Matty Beniers, who everyone thought was better than Wyatt Johnston during their rookie year, has 14 goals, 23 assists at 37 points. He's a dash two on plus minus. So it's like, this team isn't what the Dallas Stars is. However, this version of the Dallas Stars coming in should still technically be better, but going 11-7 is hard. I know a lot of defensemen hate going 7 defensemen. I know when you don't have Mikko Rantanen, that 11 on the forward group is a little bit harder because Mikko Rantanen's not doing the double shifts. Someone else is going to have to take the double shifts with the first and the fourth line. So we'll see what that ends up looking like. But luckily, hey, Jason Robertson, he's still on this team. Wyatt Johnston, he's still on this team. They're coming in fresh too. Did you see Jason Robertson posted on his Instagram yesterday? He said, We're back. We're so back, baby. Like, he's fired up. I would assume that we're going to see a lot of goals out of Jason Robertson here to the end of the season.
No, yeah, I think everyone around the league, it's going to be a really rough first period for everyone. So I think it will be low scoring, but Jason Robertson having 2 weeks off, he just needs one touch on that puck to hit that net, and then he's back off to the Robo we know and love.
Yeah, and I talked to Matt Duchene last year after Four Nations break. And during the practices leading in, I was like, hey, is it like hard to get back into like hockey mode after not having to play hockey for 2 weeks? And obviously you didn't have practice for like a week and a half here. Like, you're coming back into the building, you're trying to get back into the swing of things. He's like, no, it's just a switch, dude. You just, once you're back in the locker room, once you're back on the ice, you lacing them up, and it's the same thing. It's just like the beginning of the regular season or beginning of training camp. It's like riding a bike. They don't care. They don't mind it. So some of these guys are going to come out fast. Like Matt Duchene was starting to come on there at the end of the season before the Olympic break. Like, he started coming on. He started scoring goals. He was getting assists. Like, he was putting points on the board. Something that he needed to see and that the Stars needed to see, obviously, because you want Matt Duchene to be that point per game player that we saw last year. He started coming on. Jason Robertson obviously has been on pretty much all season. It's been a very small gap after like the first week of the season. He didn't score for like 6 games, and all of a sudden he scored for 16 straight. So if you can get those two guys going, you got Wyatt Johnston on the power play. I still feel just as confident about this team, even without Mikko Rantanen, without Roope Hintz, without Jake Cottinger and net tonight. I would assume that's what we're looking at. No Radek Faksa, but the other guys get some chances. You get more Colin Blackwell time. You get more Sam Steele time. You get more Oscar Back time. Like Adam Ernie, our fucking bowling ball, Adam Ernie, he's going to get more time during this break. So I'm excited to get back in the building against the Kraken.
Yeah, and a guy I'm really going to be watching tonight, Maverick Borg was playing his best hockey right before the Olympic period. And if he can continue that, it's going to bode well for this team. And God, that's the guy I'm watching for to see what he does in this Wednesday night game.
It'll be super interesting. Maverick Borg this season has turned into a completely different player as what he was in the Pete DeBoer system. And I think that's a little bit of coaching, a little bit of system, a little bit just like handling the personalities a little bit better. Like, he just seems more free this year. And even though he wasn't like producing or anything, all of a sudden that last week, 2 weeks, he started to be confident. You saw it in a shot. You saw it in his play. He was a confident guy. So I hope that Maverick is what we're getting this week, and we can kind of go on from there. So, Dom, first game back, we got to do predictions. Who do you think is going to win this game? What are the goal scoring? What's the goal situation look like? Obviously, I think we're having Casey in net, not Remy, and no Jake.
I see Casey having a good night. The amount of guys that Stars are going to be playing without, especially on this quick turnaround with the guys that were playing in the Olympics, I think it's going to be a battle. So we're going to go into that third period, probably tied 2-2. And I think Seattle's going to get one and then get an empty netter. So I'm going 4-2 Seattle. on this turnaround from the Olympics.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really gross game, and I don't know if we see a lot of goals because a lot of these guys haven't played. Like Seattle had 2 guys in the Olympics. Obviously, the Stars had 7 guys in the Olympics, and you're coming back without at least 2 of them, maybe 3 of them. So you're only, or maybe 4 of them, right? Out of the 7, you might only get 3 guys with Miro, Essa, and there's a third one. Thomas Harley. There it is. Had to think. Silver medalist. It's tough. It's tough for Thomas. But coming back with a handful of the guys from the Olympics, I think it's going to be gross. I think it's going to be disgusting. It's not going to be pretty hockey that first period. Like you said, like, hey, that first game in AAC, that first period, we're like, it's kind of gross. And it was the 3rd game of the season. They're still figuring it out. I think it's going to be a little bit like that the first week or 2 of the season, where it's just kind of getting back into the motions of things and figuring it out. I'm going to go 3-1 Stars. I think it's going to be 2-1 late. I think we get a late one there in the last 10 minutes of the 3rd period. Wyatt Johnston, Brobo. I think Maverick Bork might be in the action. I think Miro Heiskanen is going to be one of the best players on the ice. I think he's going to be the best player on the ice, maybe. I think you see a little of like a point or 2 out of Miro tonight would be sick. But I'm going to go 3-1 Stars, and it's not going to be pretty. I don't think you see anything in the first period. Obviously, you're going to have the 1 goal that Casey lets in that we're just used to, and then he's going to shut it down. That's what I'm thinking, because I think the Kraken aren't as good as the Stars, even with all the injuries, even with all the sickness and the Olympic hangover. I think we get 3-1.
If we can get 3-1, man, get some time off, get a few more guys back, we'll be cooking.
Yeah, and then you're playing the Predators on the 28th here on Saturday. Like, you get an extra 2 days rest, which would be huge, because then after Saturday, you got a 2-game back-to-back. Because on Tuesday, I've decided, I don't know what you're going to do, Dom, but I'm going to stream Tuesday night's game at 8 o'clock against Calgary.
I should be able to be there.
It's 8 o'clock. So I don't know. I didn't want to do 9 o'clock because that's way too late to go for 3 hours and kind of be on camera. 8 o'clock, I can manage. I'm going to watch the games anyway, but 9 o'clock, I'd like to just be slumped on my couch and just kind of survive through that game. 8 o'clock, I think we're going to do a stream since it's an away game. And then the Stars are on a 6-game home stretch there right after that Calgary game next week as the deadline looms. So we're not streaming during any of those games because we'll be obviously at home. Me and Savannah will be in the building. Dom might show up. I don't know. You never know what Dom's going to do. So, yeah, I think plan on Tuesday. We'll stream. We're going to have the game actually on TikTok. I think I can figure that out and not get dinged for it with the Victory Plus stream in the view on TikTok if you want to watch there. But we'll obviously be streaming on YouTube and Twitter, our Clean Sheet of Ice YouTube. So that's the plan. 3-1 Stars tonight. That's what I'm going. You're going 4-2 Kraken. I could see either one happening. It's the Olympic break. You got to get back into the swing of things. It's going to be all right, guys, but we're back. We got Texas hockey right back in our faces.
I'm so happy to see that star shining back on NHL ice again.
It felt good to put green on today. Like, I don't have a lot of green on. I put a Stars sweatshirt on and a little bit of green on the hat. Like, it felt good to put the color green back on because it's been 2 weeks where 2-3 weeks where I've just been hammering the U.S. colors, and it's been fun. I've been hammering a little bit of baseball stuff too, but we're back. We're wearing green. We're so back.
We're back. We're so back.
Ah, what a time, Dom. But we're back. We'll be back on Friday with another episode. I'm going to try to record tomorrow because Friday I want to go see Mississippi State play baseball at 11 a.m. in Arlington. So, because I haven't seen them play in 5 years. So I'd just like to go see my boys in maroon and white play a little baseball. So I'm going to try to record Thursday. If we don't come back, I might have a solo pod or something like that. I don't know if Savannah can record tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But we'll have an episode on Friday. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already on Clean Sheet of Ice on YouTube or Clean Sheet of Ice on audio platforms like Apple, Spotify, anywhere else. Follow us on social media at Clean Sheet of Ice, obviously on Instagram and Twitter. Follow me on TikTok if you want to see some clips at Apollo Stoney. And we'll be back very, very soon with another episode of Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast.